damn ball, RJ.
Oklahoma had 4 All-Americans last year and came within an overtime of getting to the championship game. You had 1 All-American, a punter who's gone. How many elite players do you feel like you have on this roster that can be difference makers and win championships?
Some. I don't know. You kind of put me on the spot there. I haven't tallied up difference makers and championship level guys, and I don't know that it's fair for me to give an assessment with the limited time that I have to think about that question. But I do think that there are guys on both sides of the ball, probably more, if I'm being honest, on defense than on offense right now. But we've also, again, signed a top 5 recruiting class too, and so I have yet to see those guys play a snap of college football or even practice in college football. So I do think that we have some. I think every coach that sits up here would tell you not enough. Even the ones that are playing for and winning national championships. But I do think that we're getting closer and closer to those elite programs in terms of the necessary elite championship caliber talent.
No, you're not, Tom. No, you're not. We got the proof, dog. There was not a Texas football player drafted until the 5th round. And that was Charles Omenihu, who went to the Texans, where I'm sure that, he's the heir apparent to J.J. Watt down there. I'm sure that's why they drafted him in the 5th. And you had Chris Boyd going to 7th. At the 7th, do you really want to get drafted in the 7th round? Is anybody? I don't think anybody does.
Nope.
Yeah, because we're going to get into this a little bit in the next segment, but you stuck with the Vikings, Chris Boyd. You stuck, because they took you 217th overall. Yo. All right, so there's that. But then there's just, how do you defend this? If you are a Texas Longhorn football fan, if you're a Texas Longhorn football fan, you have people in your life who just hate you on general principle. They just hate you on general principle. Hate everything your team stands for on general principle. What, you gonna come up to them and be like, those are Charlie Strong's players, those are not Tom Herman's players? Oh yeah? Y'all want to throw up 10 wins? And a Rose Bowl win over Georgia? It's good coaching. Oh, is it now? Okay, because good coaching usually ends up with players getting drafted. That's what happens there. That's what that means. You didn't have Brecken Hagar. No. None. The dude cut his hair, cut his chances of getting drafted. Look, you also had LJ Humphrey came out early, talking about he gonna get his. No, sir. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not, sir. And I got into this a little bit, and I went a little deeper on this because I did upload this on the channel, right? So I'm not rehashing that. But there were 30 players who went undrafted that were underclassmen in the 2019 draft. Some notable dudes that y'all might know about. I'm sure, I'm here for the football, so I know about them. But Alex Barnes, running back out of Kansas State. Most people thought he was one of the better running backs coming out of the draft, or coming out of the Big 12 toward the draft. You also got other dudes. My goodness. LJ Scott at Michigan State. He didn't get drafted. I thought that dude was pretty stout. Thought he was pretty good. Jalen Guyton, wide receiver out of North Texas, who was catching all those passes from the man Mason down there. Antoine Wesley at Texas Tech. All 6'6" of him probably should have stayed in school. Tyron Johnson at Oklahoma State. Yo, didn't he transfer from LSU
transfer from LSU?
Yeah.
When he announced, I was like, I just put my head down. I was like, bro, go back.
Yeah. At the very least, I think Jordan Brailford got drafted in the 7th round.
Almost Mr. Irrelevant, second to last pick.
Man. And I like Jordan Brailford. And also we got other dudes that are coming out of Oklahoma signed as undrafted free agents. I mentioned those are Curtis Bolton at Green Bay is one. Another is Amani Bledsoe, Tennessee Titans. He signed with them. So that's the other part. You get to pick. Marcellus Sutton ends up signing with Seattle Seahawks. And then Carson Meyer ends up signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So you got to pick where you're going. You got a better chance of making a team if you can look at the depth chart and be like, yeah, I can make that as a practice squad player. But in the 7th-round draft pick, yo.
That's tough living, man. I'm not going to lie. Because like you said, you're married to that team. for however long they want to keep you, and you don't have no say. At least free agent, you get to pick the right situation. You get to look at somebody's roster and say, "Oh, I want to go here."
Well, I mean, okay, so we should let's just get into it. Corey, you were a 6th-round draft pick.
Yeah.
What was that day like for you? Because for us, we're watching TV and we're watching Trey Wingo tell us backstories on all these cats. Because by the time you get into the 5th or 6th, they ain't got no tape to run because they ain't got the live stream camera on those families in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round. That's not what it is.
No.
So what was going on with you in 07?
Man, so I knew I was going to be like a 4th to 6th round draft pick, and so back then it was only 2 days, so I was definitely a day 2 guy, and I had family and friends over, no more than 20 people. And, man, it got to pass the 5th round, mid-6th round, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I went up to my room. I just sat in there alone, and then I got that call right around the end of the 6th round from the Patriots. And it was just nerve-wracking, man. I remember sitting there thinking, oh, my gosh, I have all these people at my house, and I'm not going to get drafted. And then after that, my agent calls me. He was like, bro, you might want to not get drafted so we can have, the pick of the litter. We can send you where you want to go, where you're going to be most, set up to achieve. And it just didn't work out that way, man. I was so happy I got drafted, but I got drafted to an 18-1 team that was going to be 18-1 and playing in the Super Bowl. That kept only 4 to 11 draft picks. So hindsight being 20/20, I wish I'd have went undrafted.
So I'm looking at it too, and I'm looking at the money here. You still get a bit of a signing bonus. Today, I know we're talking about 12 years later. Right?
I'll be transparent. It was $55,000 signing bonus.
See, there you go.
I'd have gave that back.
for the opportunity to go anywhere else.
Opportunity to go anywhere else, bro.
So today, that number for a 7th, let's go with a 6th round draft pick. That let's say you taking in the first pick in the 6th round. Signing bonus is $208,000. Total value on that contract, if they sign you, is $2.7 million. Right? I think that's 4 years.
Yep, spread out over 4.
Yeah. So I mean, it feels like for $208,000, but that's also if you get signed.
Right.
That's the part. You have to get signed to get that loot.
Yep.
And past about the 4th round, everybody on the chopping block after about the 4th round.
Everybody, bro. That's what frustrates me when these kids want to leave early. I'm like, man, you don't even know if you projected 4th to 7th, you're gonna be in a dogfight.
Right.
For all of camp.
And now we're talking about should these dudes be allowed to come back to school if they don't get drafted where they want to get drafted. And I'm trying to tell you, well, number one, this ain't basketball. Number two, those coaches don't want you back.
They don't.
Well, number one, they signed your scholarship away. They ain't got no scholarship to give you. Number two, just check out how A.D. Miller is being treated. I'm sure he's part of the team and whatnot at Oklahoma, but you really think he's about to see the field? You know, we didn't even see that dude during the spring game. You know, I mean, for many people, the thinking is he quit on his team.
Yep.
Because he was one step into Illinois, then decided he wanted to have an about face, come back. Cool. They got to not lose the scholarship at Oklahoma, so they have him back. I guarantee you, if they had to give up a scholarship to bring A.D. Miller back, A.D. Miller would not be a Sooner. These coaches don't want you. If you leave early, you done left early. You know, so you better have their blessing.
Yep.
Because there's a couple dudes, you know, that got to leave early at OU because they got coach's blessing, and that's just what they should be doing. Right? This is probably going to be a better. Like, you getting a first-round draft grade is not you getting any better. Okay? That's what it is. You know, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Go. Get your money. And even if you're Cody Ford and you slide out of the first round, you know, you're going to get signed as the number 38 overall selection to Buffalo, right? Second round draft pick. Signing bonus on that is $3.4 million. 3.5 if you want to round up. Because, you know, what's the difference between 3.46 and 3.5? 4 G's?
4 G's.
Are we going to argue about 4 G's when we talk about 3.4 million?
Heck no.
Right. And the total value on that contract is $7.4 million over the next 4 years. That's loot, you know? So even if you get a second to fourth round grade and you don't actually think that you can move in the first round, you better go get your money. But if you get a stay in school grade, like Colin Johnson did, maybe stay in school. Be the biggest, baddest number one wide receiver in the Big 12.
Let me ask, what do you think the biggest allure is to these guys coming out? It can't solely just be money. Do you think there's some peer pressure, right? Somebody in your ear telling, hey, man, you good enough to go play? I'm trying to figure out why so many guys want to get out of there early.
Sometimes children are the need. Sometimes you have a new father who's like, oh, I got to feed somebody, and I can't do it off the stipend that y'all trying to give me at Oklahoma or at Oklahoma State or what have you. I mean, that was true with Dominique Alexander. You know, he went. And I think that comes into play. But I also think that if you just want to get out of your situation, especially before there was an NCAA transfer portal, that was the best way to get out of your situation. You know, that's all you wanted to do.